Chapter 1. The sound of tires in the driveway. The mansion was never quiet. Even when no one spoke, it breathed, air moving through hidden vents, clocks ticking in distant rooms, the low hum of wealth disguised as comfort. Amina knew the house's rhythms better than anyone. She had learned them the way sailors learn tides. That afternoon, the rhythm broke. She was scrubbing the marble floor beneath the grand staircase, yellow gloves squeaking softly with each stroke, when she heard it. Tires. Slow. Careful. Too early. Her heart skipped. He wasn't supposed to be home for another 3 hours. Amina froze, cloth pressed against the cold marble. She listened again. The crunch of gravel outside confirmed it. Someone had arrived, and not just anyone. Only one man drove that way, measured, unhurried, as if the world would wait for him. Mr. Hale. Before she could stand, another sound reached her ears. Footsteps upstairs. Not his. Lighter. Faster. Panic followed the sound. And then a sharp whisper echoed down the hallway. Amina. She looked up just as the hidden panel beneath the staircase slid open. Inside the narrow space was Daniel, Mr. Hale's longtime business partner. Eyes wide, face drained of color. He dropped to the floor, crawling toward her like a hunted animal. "He's not supposed to be back," Daniel whispered, voice shaking. "Please. Just help me." Amina didn't ask questions. In that house, questions were dangerous. She grabbed Daniel by the collar and dragged him fully beneath the staircase just as the front door opened. The footsteps grew louder. Amina reacted on instinct. She pressed her gloved hand over Daniel's mouth as his breathing turned frantic. His eyes locked onto hers, pleading. She leaned close and whispered the only words that came to her. "Stay quiet." The footsteps stopped directly above them. Through the narrow gap, Amina could see polished shoes, expensive leather reflecting the light. Mr. Hale stood still, as if listening to the house breathe. Daniel trembled beneath her hand. One sound, one breath too loud, and everything would end. Mr. Hale moved again, his shoes retreating toward the living room. Only then did Amina release her grip. Daniel sucked in air, tears streaking his face. He clutched her arm, shaking. "You saved my life," he whispered. Amina said nothing. Her pulse hammered in her ears as she realized something far more terrifying than being discovered. Whatever Daniel was hiding from was powerful enough to make a rich man crawl on the floor and beg a maid for silence. And that meant this house held secrets far darker than dust and marble. Chapter 2. What the Walls Remember. Daniel didn't leave that night. Amina knew because she felt the house change again. Long after Mr. Hale retired to his study, after the lights dimmed and the staff quarters fell silent, the air remained tense. Secrets have weight. They sink into walls, into carpets, into the bones of buildings. This one was heavy. At midnight, Amina returned to the staircase with a bottle of water and a blanket. She slid open the panel and found Daniel sitting with his back against the wall, knees pulled to his chest. His expensive suit was ruined, his confidence shattered. "They're coming for me," he said before she could speak. "Who?" Amina asked. Daniel laughed bitterly. "Everyone. Him. The board. The people who trusted me." Amina folded the blanket carefully before handing it to him. "Then why are you here?" "Because Mr. Hale doesn't know the truth yet," Daniel said. "And once he does, I won't make it out alive." The words sent a chill through her. Mr. Hale was respected, feared, admired. Newspapers called him a visionary. Politicians called him generous. But Amina had seen the other side, the cold calculations, the quiet threats disguised as smiles. "What truth?" she asked. Daniel hesitated, then reached into his jacket. From the inner pocket, he pulled out a small flash drive. "I stole everything," he said. "The offshore accounts, the shell companies, the bribes, every illegal deal that made him a billionaire." Amina stared at the drive as if it might explode. "Why tell me?" "Because you're invisible," Daniel said softly. "They don't see you. They don't listen to you. And that makes you powerful." The word felt wrong in her mouth. Powerful. Amina had spent her life cleaning other people's messes, keeping her head down, surviving. Daniel continued. "If I disappear, The truth dies with me. But if you help me get this out, everything changes. Amina thought of the shoes above her head earlier that day. How easily a life could be crushed without a sound. What do you want from me? She asked. Daniel met her eyes. Time, protection, and eventually, a way out. Amina stood slowly. For years, she had endured insults, late payments, silent threats. The mansion had always belonged to Mr. Hale. But now, beneath its staircase, the balance had shifted. I'll help you, she said. But understand this, once we start, there's no turning back. Daniel nodded. I know. As she slid the panel shut, Amina realized something that made her hands tremble, not with fear, but with clarity. For the first time, she wasn't just cleaning around power. She was standing at its center. Chapter 3. The Quiet Ones Speak. Power doesn't announce itself. It spreads quietly, like roots beneath the soil. Over the next 2 weeks, Amina became someone else without changing a single thing about her appearance. She still wore the same uniform, still bowed her head, still cleaned the same rooms. But now, she listened. And the house talked. Mr. Hale spoke freely around her, assuming silence where there was memory. Phone calls revealed timelines. Arguments revealed desperation. She memorized names, dates, places. Every night, she returned to the staircase, passing information to Daniel like oxygen. Together, they built a map of corruption so vast it made Amina dizzy. But the risk grew daily. One afternoon, Mr. Hale stopped her in the hallway. He studied her face longer than usual, eyes sharp. You've been quiet lately, he said. Amina forced a small smile. I always am, sir. He nodded slowly. Quiet people hear things they shouldn't. Her heart pounded, but she met his gaze. Only if they're listening. For a moment, she thought he might strike her. Instead, he smiled and walked away. That night, Daniel told her the truth had to go public, soon. The board meeting was in 3 days. Mr. Hale planned to disappear with his money and leave. Daniel to take the fall. We end it then, Daniel said. How? Amina asked. Daniel handed her the flash drive. You walk into that meeting. Amina stared at it. They won't let me through the door. Daniel smiled weakly. They will when they realize you're the most dangerous person in the room. The day of the meeting arrived. Suits filled the boardroom. Lawyers, executives, men who believed they owned the world. Amina entered silently and placed the flash drive on the table. The room erupted. Evidence flooded screens. Accounts froze. Warrants were issued. Mr. Hale's face collapsed as his empire crumbled in real time. He turned to Amina, rage and disbelief colliding in his eyes. You, he whispered. She straightened her back. Yes, me. Chapter 4. After the silence breaks. The mansion was sold within 6 months. Mr. Hale was sentenced quietly. No cameras, no speeches. Powerful men prefer silence when they fall. Daniel testified, reduced his sentence, and vanished into witness protection. His last message to Amina was simple. You were never invisible. Amina stood outside the empty mansion one final time. Keys returned, uniform folded neatly in her bag. The house no longer breathed. It was just walls now. Just echoes. She didn't take revenge. She didn't seek fame. She took something far more dangerous. Freedom. Weeks later, Amina opened a small office downtown. A legal aid center. It helped people no one listened to. Maids, drivers, security guards. The quiet ones. The ones who saw everything. Sometimes, when the city grew loud and the memories crept back, she remembered that moment beneath the staircase. The fear. The choice. The whisper that changed everything. Stay quiet. She smiled. Because silence had been her shield once. But her voice? Her voice had rewritten the story.